Hey, what's up? It's Anthony Marley Love. Welcome to another episode of Traveling While Black and to another episode of our Perspective of a Mover series.
Yeah, this series is all about visiting neighborhoods in Seattle and cities in Seattle in case you feel like moving here or you are moving here.
We hope you find what's in this episode helpful if you're considering a move to the Emerald City. So take a look at the episode, and as always, let us know what you think. Hey, what's up? I'm Anthony.
And I'm Marley. Welcome to Traveling While Black. Just a 15-minute drive north from downtown Seattle lies the small, quaint neighborhood of Greenwood, a neighborhood that appears to have it all, from a variety of housing options to an abundance of different types of stores and restaurants.
And we mean an abundance. In fact, residents really don't have to venture out of the neighborhood for anything they need. Everything is located within, including grocery stores, arts and craft shops, and even gas stations.
The area offers decent public transportation options, but is also really walkable, somehow including the parts that lack sidewalks.
While some today have described Greenwood as somewhat of a throwback to old Seattle, the fact is this neighborhood has come a long way from how it started.
The area that is known today as Greenwood was originally named Woodland, and this was where David T. Denny chose as a location of the Woodland Cemetery in 1891.
While the area seemed like a great spot for a cemetery to Dave, it was not viewed as an ideal location for building homes. You see, the land is on what is known as a bog. What the hell is a bog? A bog or bogland is a wetland that accumulates a deposit of dead plant material known as peat.
The cemetery eventually became the Greenwood Cemetery, and in 1907, it was purchased by former state governor Henry McBride, who immediately platted the area into residential lots. But it was the construction of a Seattle-Everett interurban railway that really led to the growth of the neighborhood. By 1910, trolleys were running between the two cities with a stop right in Greenwood.
Thanks to the railway-inspired growth, by the 1940s, Greenwood had established a Miracle Mile along Greenwood Avenue, a collection of businesses that really was the foundation in making the neighborhood self-sustaining.
Today, the area that started as a boggy cemetery holds newer businesses still sustaining the neighborhood. Where there was once a trolley station, sits one of the most popular parks in the city, Greenwood Park.
These days, what attracts most people living outside of Greenwood to the neighborhood are two annual events, the Greenwood Seafair Parade and Greenwood Car Show. But what could attract a potential mover?
Outside of the access to abundance of different shopping and dining options, a potential mover may be interested to know that Greenwood is one of the more affordable neighborhoods in the city.
Also, for potential movers with students, while the neighborhood doesn't have a high school directly within, it does offer two good options for elementary schools, one public and one private.
And of course, we'll cover the diversity numbers in our Comfortability for Black People rating. Everyone we spoke to that lived in Greenwood all spoke highly of their experiences in that area.
But could they be biased? That's why we headed to the neighborhood to find out for ourselves.
Drive grade.
We want to remind you, for the next couple of episodes, we're going to base drive grade on how accessible the neighborhoods are to such things as entertainment and major highways, as well as how easy it is to get around the neighborhood, and finally, the neighborhood's proximity to any schools in the area.
The drive to Greenwood from downtown Seattle is around 15 minutes. For us, it wasn't bad. The ride seemed to flow even during times when you would expect it to be busy.
This was even the case within the neighborhood. What surprised us was how easy it was maneuvering through the main thruway, even with the night traffic.
Yes, the drive isn't bad, and with Greenwood being north central of the city, there are multiple ways to get there. For most of our trips, we took 99.
In regard to the parking, there is what I guess can be described as a good mix of free and paid parking, but regardless of the parking type, parking was never an issue during our visit.
So based on the many ways to access the neighborhood, the easiness of getting around, and access to everything a local resident would need, you shouldn't be surprised that we rate Greenwood a 5 out of 5 for drive grade.
Level of fun.
So for the next couple of episodes, our level of fun grade will be based simply on the overall vibe of the neighborhood, as well as the quality and quantity of options within for food, entertainment, and leisure.
Landing in Greenwood, we had to think like a potential resident. So we had to think, what would a local resident do? And after 4 years of living in Seattle, we know that at some point, coffee will become one of the most critical things in your life, no matter what neighborhood you're in.
So we chose to stop into the neighborhood Diva Espresso location. This was our first time at any Diva Espresso, so we didn't really know what to expect.
Lucky for us, the busyness of the store, the large menu, and the delicious looking snacks all hinted towards good expectations. And it turned out to be even better than that.
Yes, the experience was pleasant and our drinks were delicious. We could easily see this becoming our normal spot if we lived in the neighborhood.
After our coffee fix, we needed to decide what to do next. Instinctively, we headed to the main thoroughway of the neighborhood at the intersection of Greenwood Avenue North and North 85th.
From this point in the neighborhood, we had a good view of the variety of choices we had to choose from gaming at the adult arcade Poindexter's to catching a show at the Taproot Theater.
Since there wasn't a show happening at the Taproot Theater during our visit, and the arcade didn't open until later on, we decided that since the weather was nice, or at least not raining, we would head over to take a stroll through Greenwood Park.
Greenwood Park is a really cute park in the middle of the neighborhood. The park has ADA walkways, a basketball court, a large open lawn area, and a nice-sized playground.
To me, the most interesting features in the park were its gardens. The community pea patch garden, and of course, the game garden, with concrete ping pong tables and cornhole boards.
After a nice stroll through the park, we decided to take a break, then come back to experience dinner at a local restaurant. That night, we came back to check out a newer restaurant that had only been open for a couple of months, Stilos.
Stilos is located at 10406 Holman Road North, which formerly held another popular local restaurant, Greenwood Alibi. On the inside, Stilos provides a large dining room that lends perfect for a date night. But just a few feet away, there is a nice-sized bar area for those looking for more of a looser atmosphere.
The atmosphere was really cool and the cocktails were awesome, but what really made Stilos one of the best Seattle restaurant experiences in a while was absolutely their food. Their menu offered a variety of dishes, and almost any dish can be made vegetarian or gluten-free.
Yes, Stilos sources the freshest ingredients, all from local farmers, and you can tell. But there was one other thing at Stilos that made for our best Seattle restaurant experience in a while: the people. Along with the great atmosphere, food, and drinks, Stilos offers their location for events, which can be held on their second floor bar area.
We don't doubt that Stilos will soon become a new Greenwood favorite, and even if you don't plan on moving to the neighborhood, we recommend checking them out.
After the dinner and having spent some time in the neighborhood, we had to reflect on what type of grade to give Greenwood for level of fun.
We knew this wasn't going to be easy because while the neighborhood had an amazing vibe, as well as a large amount of food and shopping options, we noticed that it did not offer a lot of options for, extraordinary fun.
Yeah, in our opinion, it seems that potential residents wouldn't have to leave the neighborhood for very much, but they would when searching for different types of entertainment. So for Greenwood, we'll give a 4 out of 5 for level of fun.
Comfortability for Black people.
Of course, nothing's changed as far as how we are basing our comfort level for Black people rating.
Once again, we will start comfortability by diving into the neighborhood demographics. White residents making up 67%, Asian residents 10%, both Hispanic and individuals who identify as 2 or more races making up 9% respectively, and finally, Black residents make up the least amount at 5%.
In other numbers, there's almost a split between family and non-family households, and a little over 21% of those family households have children. Yes, those are the numbers. But how did we feel as a Black person during our time spent within the Greenwood neighborhood?
There were so many moments and things along the way that contributed to us having a comfortable experience. First were the people, not only within the business establishments, but even on the streets. People would actually speak and say hi, sometimes even having full conversations.
We had to double check that we weren't dreaming when a random guy walking his dog, who appeared to be a local resident, asked if we wanted him to watch our camera on the tripod while we filmed one of our famous walking shots. Yes, another thing we noticed during our time in Greenwood was the many minority-owned businesses around the neighborhood. We even got to check a few of them out, and we can say that all of them were great at what they did. As a matter of fact, Stilos is one of those minority-owned businesses.
Along with the visible BIPOC establishments, seeing signs all around the neighborhood supporting inclusion also added to our comfortable feeling. Even Greenwood Park features a tribute to Japanese Americans.
Yep, the Greenwood Gate at the park is a tribute to Japanese Americans who used to work the greenhouses that used to be where the park now lies from 1919 to 1999.
We had heard from people who lived in Greenwood that this neighborhood was awesome, and our experience proved that they were telling the truth.
For any potential Seattle mover interested in a neighborhood that has a fun, comfortable vibe, almost everything you need in walking distance, and most importantly, is affordable, well, in Seattle's scale of affordability, then we can definitely recommend Greenwood as a great option.
And based on all of that, we give Greenwood a 5 out of 5 for comfortability for Black people.
We hope you found this episode to be helpful and entertaining. Be sure to check out our previous episodes.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on all of our social media platforms.
Until next time, beautiful people, stay up, stay true, and do you.